tell me the name of your film and give me a brief synopsis.
The name of the film is The Dirty Divide. It's a 96-minute documentary about the houseless tragedy in Los Angeles. Shot over 4.5 years in Skid Row in downtown Los Angeles. The film was set out to make a film that put a face on houselessness, that the people that we all see, including the folks here on State Street that are freezing right now, are not ghosts. That they're people that sat around a kitchen table just a few years ago, that people with children, people with mothers and fathers and had jobs and professions, that were teachers, carpenters, doctors, soldiers, I needed to see them so I could help an audience see them.
And in your film, do you go back and explore what their lives were before they got to this point? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, to the extent that I thought that worked in the storytelling. Certainly, of the 6 characters, each that I follow closely, each of them hints a little bit about their background, but it's more importantly, it's what they're doing while they're surviving on the street that really brings the weight of the film home. How they're keeping their dignity in a city that would just as soon sweep them away into the LA River.
Now you say houselessness instead of homelessness. Is there a reason behind that?
Well, I'm going to defer that to my friend here, who is this is Pete White.
So
I can
tell him 100% tell him.
All right,
he is
Pete.
the central storyteller in the film.
Yeah, so how you doing? My name is Pete White, Executive Director of the Community Action Network and co-producer on the film with Paul. For me, this film was very interesting. Sort of Paul's entry point was a phone call after listening to, I don't even know if you remember this, after listening to a radio show on NPR where I was talking about human rights. And I said this, you don't have to board a plane at LAX to find rights violations. You can find rights violations right here at home. And that reached Paul Friedman's ears. He hunted, he chased, he tracked me down. We hazed Paul a little bit. We said, in order to make a real film that goes deep and that's really authentic, you are on your own going to have to, without a camera, build relationships and build trust. And so for 4.5 years, that's what he did. And that's what the community did, right? There's definitely a thread. When we talk about houselessness, many houseless people in our country are houseless in communities in which they once lived, right? And so the community becomes the home. It's not the 4 walls and the roof. It's the actual community around. It's the relationships you have. It's the safety nets that you've developed. And it's the reason so many people stay local or in proximity to places that they know. And this film talks a lot about that, right? And so Paul is absolutely correct in that in the film you will hear sort of the tragedies of deindustrialization, but it's not the core piece of the film, right? It's just the stories, it's the arrival stories of how people, arrived in Skid Row, and the resilience, the love, the culture, the creativity, the community, the spirit, and the fight that holds everyone all together.
So you found hope.
Oh no, hope lived.
Yeah.
We were able to capture hope. We were able to capture love. We were able to capture authentic voice. Right? That's what we were able to do. And we were able to bring audiences into a place that they've only, ever heard of on, television. And so this film brings you close to close.
And can you talk about your experience?
So my experience on The Dirty Divide, I'm Adam Klugman, one of the producers of the film. And one of the things that I learned over the course of it is kind of the issue of houselessness is kind of the graveyard for documentary filmmakers, and a little like politically like Afghanistan. Everybody thinks they're going to go in and it's going to be easy because it's dramatic and it's dense and it's going to be great. And what you find out is that the issues are so immense and so complex that a lot of filmmakers just can't cut it. So to Paul's credit, he spent 4 years just dogging it, determined to find something even when he wasn't sure what he was looking for. So that's a really important thing to understand. That's why there aren't a lot of films and documentaries about houselessness, because it's overwhelming. But Paul, to his credit, with the help of Pete and a little help from me, really got a film that does something very important, and it humanizes the face the faces of homelessness. You know, your question was a good one. Do we go back and find out who they were? In some ways, it matters to them, but to us, it shouldn't matter, because what matters is who they are right now, because we're not seeing them right now. So what matters isn't so much their story in the past, so much as who are they now, and what are they living, and how are they surviving. And then we can start to ask other questions. But those are the most urgent questions, because right now, most of us are looking away. And so I think that we have to formulate a different response. And that was kind of the genesis of the film for Paul, which was, I can't pretend it's not there anymore. I can't just be indifferent anymore. I have to formulate a different response. And so what he knows how to do is make films. And so that's what he did. And to his credit, and to Pete's as well, just the kind of bravery of setting off, not knowing where you were going to end up. I think we're really proud to be here, and we're really proud with the product that we have, that we've got, and the end product, which is about making us all a little more human.
Well said. That was my next question, is how does it feel to have this important film here at SBIFF?
Wow, of course, it's a great honor. It's a great honor to have a world premiere here. I have a lot of respect for Claudia Puig and as putting the films together. She's a great film critic, LA Times, NPR. More than anything, though, I think we're excited about the proximity that we are right now to Los Angeles, and what is happening there in regards to the film, because so many people are coming up, and I want people to have the same experience that I've had, the same experience that Adam had, the same experience Pete had 25 years ago, in deciding to see our neighbors. For neighbors, not as criminals or drug addicts or people who aren't trying hard enough, but as people who need a house.
Absolutely.
They're houseless. They need a house.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen,
Thank
for
you.
shining
Thank
the
you.
light on this important subject.
Thank you.
And thank you for bringing it to us.
Yeah, great. Thanks.